Today we're going to talk about, here on Michelle's Opinions, the Rapture, event, new energy, and shifting. With everything that you hear, please use discernment. This video that I'm making here is really for the more mature, that will be able to understand, comprehend, and be able to move through this quickly so we can get on with the work that we are here to do. I'm going to start with talking about the rapture. The rapture is a doctrine in Christianity, otherwise known as the harpazo, where certain elect few chosen who are righteous enough will be taken off this world, put into safety, while the rest of the world goes through what is known as a tribulation period, where everybody is tortured and tormented while they are tucked away, safe and sound, away from all of this that is going on with our fellow brothers and sisters. Then we have the event, where again, you have to be ready. You have to make yourself resonate at the right frequency, level up, so to speak, to handle these energy waves that are going to cause you to ascend. And also for the other people who are not ready, they will be left behind or have a very, very hard time, or possibly be removed because they had not went through the ascension process. With the rapture and the harpazo, we're taught that we need to go to church, we need to learn, we have to have somebody else tell us how our relationship is to be with God Almighty, creator of all. These people would go by the title of a prophet, a preacher, an evangelist, things of that nature. With the event, we need people like channelers, or we look to those who say that they are connected and to give us information, and they give us dates of shifts, when they're going to take place, what information that they have received, and drawing crowds onto themselves to hear what they have to say. They too like to set dates of this event that will, either you've made the ascension or not, what will happen on specific dates. Now, I'm not saying that there's not truth in these. What I'm saying is, I want people to open their eyes and see the similarities in each of these. The truths that are in there are in the Bible, for example, which is the tool that I use, that when I got the proper eyes to read it, I was able to do these things without a mediator. And you don't need one either. And so with the Bible, there is truth with proper reading. With the event, with the ascension, that too has some truth to it. But again, we do not need a mediator. We do not need to go and seek after those who say they have gifts and abilities that you yourself have inside of you. We often wonder where to begin. Well, For me, I was at home. I was just seeking for the truth. And all of this started just happening. Or I like to put it that this was already in us and that we are remembering who we are and what we are. So where do we begin? Do we begin by seeking outside of us? Like through the churches or through a channeler? Well, I have to say, if you're still looking outside, then we're making a mistake. The answers that you're seeking are within you. Take the time and pray, meditate, spend some quiet time just with you, your thoughts. Allow the process to begin within you. The saying of getting our house in order and all else will follow. Yes, seek ye the kingdom of heaven and all else will be added. Yes, these places are well defined in the Bible, and it's common knowledge that we are to seek within inside ourselves, and we get our temple, which is our body that is housing our beautiful soul and spirit, and how wonderful and beautiful we all are. But it all starts from seeking within us. So if we're listening to other people and not taking the time to allow that still small voice to raise up to become louder and louder, the voices of people around us muffle it out, and we can become stagnant. We become dependent on what they're going to say next. What are they going to tell us? When's the next date to look forward to? Because it's so miserable here. One of the first things that we realize when we go through this awakening process is this place is terrible. All we see is the corruption and all the evil and all the wickedness, and we do want to escape. So we do find ourselves seeking out those people who will give us dates or say they're connected, instead of allowing that inner voice within us to raise up and to be the voice that we are to be listening to. Our heart. God sits on the throne of our heart, guys. It's a renewing of our mind. The outside world then becomes quieter, and the inner voice inside of you becomes louder. We call it intuition or gut instincts. We learn to follow those again. Those things that we've oppressed with inside of ourselves for so long. They're raising up within us. People call it a Holy Spirit baptism. Others will call it a Kundalini awakening. Somebody else could call it unblocking of the chakras. Guys, the labels do not matter. What matters is, who are you relying on for your information? Can they be trusted? The person you know you can trust the most is yourself. So I tell you, my friends, seek from within first and get your own house in order. It's so important that you know how valuable and how wonderful that you, yourself, you are made. What's next is absolutely amazing. You start seeing things in the world that will confirm what you are feeling. Whether you be looking at the Schumann resonance or the clouds in your skies, what happens next is the environment around you starts to reflect what is going on within you. You start to realize with the more awareness, the gifts that are being unlocked within you. You start to realize that everything is made here to serve a purpose for us to experience and expand. What happens next is that we become free and are able to then make choices. It's an absolute freedom that is beyond comprehension. Now, I know that people watching this channel are already on the path of awakening. And hey guys, it took me a long time. I fell in a lot of holes. And I have to tell you, I'm just trying to throw you a little rope because I fell for when is the rapture, waited with bated breath for that date, and it just would come and go. Just like the event. Everybody's waiting for this event. Well, guys, the event happened for you the moment that you became aware of what is going on and started your process of squishing down the outside voices and trusting your inner voice and allowed it to become louder and more directing, following our intuition, manifesting the things that are around us, finding out that we have a lot more say-so in what's going on around us than we had ever even imagined. Some of us still may be doubting. So, you want some proof? Are you seeing number patterns to the point they're almost driving you crazy? Do you wake up at odd hours of the night, or every single time you look at a clock or a license plate or even addresses, you're seeing these repeating numbers? Do you have deja vu? Have you been dreaming, having visions? Are you seeing things in meditation that you couldn't possibly have known? Have you begun speaking a foreign language when you just let go that you've never studied before? Are you seeing that your heart or feeling that your heart is expanding? Are you seeing physical proofs show up on your own body? Are you aware of the fluidness of reality by being able to observe the Mandela effect? Oh my goodness, guys. How much more proof do you need that we are sixth sense beings, and so much is being unlocked in each and every single one of us, that the proof is all around us. Look at your skies. If you're in a bad mood, look at your skies. If you're in a really great mood and loving mood, look at your skies. Look at the environment around you. Look at the relationships. Are you going through that refinement process? I call it a refinement process. I do believe we're being prepared for something. I'm not sure what, but there's something going on. And I really think it has a lot to do with a restoration period of us remembering who we are, the abilities that we all have within us. The proofs are all around us. Us congregating together and sharing these amazing experiences. Oh my gosh, synchronicities. And you guys know Those are my favorites. The process and the progress. It's so unique and divinely appointed for each and every single one of us. That is why it's called a narrow path. We're the only ones on it. Something that I may need to work on is something completely different than what somebody else needs to work on. But the basic things that we go through seem to be pretty standardized, but not always in the same order. Part 1 was removing false information to allow the truth to come in. It's just we're going through this together, and either we can get stuck or stagnated, by listening to others instead of the sixth sense with the gifts and everything that is within us, or we can surf that wave. We can go through all of these energy waves that are coming through, and we are feeling the effects from them. We're seeing the effects, we're feeling the effects, we have changes going on all around us, but with the progress that we're making, we understand that we are the ones who are able to have a say-so in what's going on around us. What a huge understanding that is in itself. Now, by listening to other people, we could be inadvertently creating and manifesting what they are saying to us. Here, what I want is for you to be a sovereign creator. I want you to stand in your authority, creating the world that you want to see. What I feel is a paradise for myself may not be a paradise for you. We are, in my own opinion, we are coming out of a hive mind programming, and we are linking through our hearts and creating and manifesting from a heart-based. And when you create with your heart, what do we create there? Well, from my heart, I'm creating equality for all. I want for everybody to walk into their power, their authority. And when I say power, I don't mean it in an egocentric way. I mean the sovereignty, the freedom, your God-given abilities that are within you. No two of us are alike. We will have stronger areas in the giftings that are manifested up within each of us, and that will help us to help each other through this process and make progress. So, you guys, these shift energies that are coming through, yeah, I believe they are happening. Do I think there's an event? Yes. I think each of us have an event every time we have a new understanding and a new perspective on who and what we are. Is there a rapture, a harpazo, a catching away? Yes, we are caught up with, it's the same thing, just different labels put on it. And we're all in this together, and it's such a beautiful thing. Another thing that we need to be looking at is, are we seeking confirmations or information? I'm always looking and get so excited when somebody else shares an experience. It gives me warmth in my heart to know that I'm not going through this alone, and it helps hold our sanity. Now, are the people putting out these things as information, or is it actually an experience that they're having that they're putting out to help others with confirmations. And as we're going along on this path, we understand, the more aware that we are, the more we understand that we create what is going on around us. So when we're listening to people, we need to use that discernment that we're not actually creating what they're putting out, rather than it just looking at it as a confirmation and establishing your sovereignty as the divine being that you are. I know this one's a little longer than my normal, but I really feel that this is very, very important, and we're at a very pivotal time. And there's such a huge difference in being reconnected or parroting information that somebody else is putting out there for we manifest it. So when we know that we are reconnected and we're going through this refinement process, as I've discussed in the video here as we've been going along, some of the things that I want to tell you about to look forward to are the gifts and abilities that get unlocked within us. We get discernment. We get the ability of blocking and knowing the difference of a psychic attack. We get prophetic dreams. We get control of the elements around us. We are taking back our sovereignty. We're manifesting from the heart. And that is a very, very short list of just a few of the things that I have put out for you guys to understand. It is just such a beautiful and amazing journey that we are walking in hand. But we also really need to take account of where we are getting our information from. Is it causing us to not reconnect ourselves and wait, putting us in a holding pattern, waiting for an event to happen or a rapture to happen? Or is it causing us to strive forward and to, realize how wonderful and beautiful we are, and going through this refinement process, confirming with one another all these amazing things happening? And there are people out there with absolute amazing gifts that can help unstick those of us who get stagnated. I am talking like the BQHT healers, Reiki healers, the reconnection sessions, so many different modalities that are out there for people to utilize to help them along their way. Some people use ayahuasca or other mind-altering substances to get that enhanced feeling of closeness with God, Source, oneness. I am not a judge. I am just one of you on the journey, having a wonderful time, learning and expanding. And I'm not going to say that it's easy. I have my rough days too, just like each and every one of you. So, in summation, hey guys, let's just surf the shift. Let's not wait on the event or wait on the rapture, and realize that the moment that you became aware, you began that ascension process. You were caught up in that harpazo. So keep on pressing through, unlocking the gifts that are within you, the sovereignty, the beauty, and the divine that is within. The very breath of life that is in me is in you. We are in this together, and together we can make this place a wonderful paradise of equality, sovereignty, and beauty for everyone. I love you guys. Have yourself a wonderful day.